What's up, trade crew? Welcome back to the HVAC R&D podcast hosted by Rhydon Atzenhofer. I hope you enjoy this second live recording from AHR 2025 in Orlando, and I'm joined on this episode by two ladies that are going to talk everything about the Year of the Snake. Let's get it, y'all. So what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to AHR Day 2 of 2025. My name is Rhydon Atzenhofer, and I'm the host of the HVAC R&D podcast. I am very happy to have some guests with me. I'll introduce them here in a second. Welcome to AHR. Welcome to this special episode of the podcast. Thank you for listening and giving me a chance to spend some time with you. I am based in North Carolina, and HVAC R&D is focused on research and development within the trades. My goal is to help foster and build a supportive and collaborative HVAC community by learning from the past and embracing new technology and ideas for the future. So please go follow HVAC R&D on Instagram and TikTok at hvac.rnd, and on LinkedIn, TradeHounds, and Facebook as the HVAC R&D podcast. And you can catch new episodes of the show Friday at 5 o'clock Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific when available. A massive thank you also to Bosch Home Comfort and Global The Source for being long-term supporters of the show, as well as all the members of the HVACRD.com vendor hub, BetterHelp, Chirp, Service Titan, and the newest member, SkillCat. Also, thank you to Insight Partners and the Air Control Concepts family of brands for their support. And also, thank you to Refrigeration Technologies for sharing these two ladies with me for an hour.
Woo! Thanks for having us.
Live from AHR 2025, I am joined by the Viper Vixens. Ashley Lynds and Rebecca Stamey from Refrigeration Technologies. These two have been all over AHR, from hosting the HVAC Tactical Awards to running the legendary Viper Bowl at booth 2001. So today we're diving into their paths to Refrigeration Technologies, new product updates, and their mission to uplift the HVAC community. So get ready for some laughs, industry insights, and a whole lot of Viper talk. So welcome Ashley and Becca, and thank you for your time.
Having us. Always a pleasure.
So we're, a day in, but our weekend started early. So what's been your biggest highlight so far since you started off the weekend hosting the Tactical Awards?
Yeah, so I've actually been here even longer than that. I started the weekend off with the symposium last Thursday. So that was a great time, obviously. It's always great to see all the educators. The Tactical Awards is just always so fun. Right? Everyone getting dressed up. There's just nothing like that, especially in this space. So it's always exciting to, get fancy and see everyone else get fancy. So that's the highlight for me.
Yeah. The Tactical Awards was amazing. This is my first time co-hosting the red carpet live stream with Ashley.
At least you have an expert to help.
Yeah, no, honestly, I was so nervous when we first started, so it really helped to, watch her go first and be like, okay, that's the flow I need to get into. And even though I step up there and my mind goes completely blank.
That's what happens.
I think it's the lights.
Yeah, it is.
It's literally the light.
Yeah.
Lights, camera, all the action.
But yeah, so that was amazing. It's always fun to see everyone because we look at them on Instagram and TikTok all day long, and everyone's just wearing T-shirts and they're covered in pipe dope and nylog and all of that. And so it's cool to see everyone all dressed up.
So, as you said, you started with the symposium. So what were kind of some takeaways from that event that you can see, maybe your trends you're going to see in this show and kind of take it to the floor?
Ooh, I mean, I think everyone's getting a big focus on education, which that whole event is just education, right? And in my opinion, well, from my knowledge of the industry, there's really only kind of 2 education like seminars or conferences, and one is like the ESCO, HVAC Excellence, and one is the Symposium. So the numbers for both of those events are getting bigger and bigger, so it seems like everyone is more and more interested in education, and I think that's part of my title. So, being able to infuse more education around not just our chemicals, but safety in general, and having that readily available so that anyone can access it.
I unfortunately was not at the symposium this year, but I did attend last year, and yeah, kind of like Ashley mentioned, it's amazing to see how many people come together to learn. I mean, so much of the time, people don't want to learn new things or get better. They just want to do what they're doing. So to see people show up and attend these seminars with these, basically world-class educators is really exciting.
Well, and I think from the first pictures and stuff I've seen from it over the years, it went from he hosted it in the parking lot, and now it's just where do you put it all?
Yeah.
Which, this show itself kind of lends itself to it. AHR can only go so many places.
Yeah.
So who knows what's next with that?
Yeah, it's definitely getting bigger. I know they capped the attendance. This year was probably the largest that they had. I think they had about 450 attendees. So that doesn't include the vendors. So it was big, The space this year had to be bigger just because of the numbers. But, if they decide not to cap it, I could be huge. Yeah. It could be big. Brian Orr, it could be big, wherever you are.
Oh, he's out there. He's probably listening right now, and we don't know it. So yesterday, y'all hosted the Viper Bowl. So tell me a little bit about that. Who won? Who had a unfortunate disaster and failed? How did it all go down?
Well, so the Viper Bowl was just a way to bring people into the booth, bring our community together. So we did 4 different games, all utilizing Viper products. We had people cut through nylog, use a new product accessory that we debuted yesterday to shoot down some empty nylog bottles with some coil cleaner. They had to build a snake out of wet rag, putty, had to do some things with some Venom packs. So it was a blast. And Ashley's team took home the win.
I was going to say who won.
I mean, also our team name was literally Go Win Some Shit. Hopefully I can say that, but it happened.
I mean, you're allowed to say your own tagline.
Yeah, so we won some shit.
So what's been your favorite moment so far, whether at your booth or just from the experience the last couple of days as we start to almost be done?
That's so hard because there's so many good moments and for different reasons. I always love our booth events because we draw a crowd, and it's so exciting to see you put something together and have that final moment of fruition where people are really invested and really excited to be there and watch it. So that to me is huge, to know that you created something that our team created something that other people want to participate in and are really excited about.
Yeah, I love seeing, the entire aisleway packed with people. People can't get through. The booths around us, I mean, they're all watching,
you're
too.
all getting the snake eye.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a huge highlight is, bringing everyone together. And I think for me, too, I love being able to connect with people that I just talk to online all day. And then, they come up to you and you're like, oh, that's what you look like in person.
Oh, my God. That I actually hear that from a lot of people all the time. It's actually kind of funny. We've heard it. So Chris and I, my wife, who's sitting out here, we hear that a lot at different times. They're like, oh, that's you. Or you see someone and you're like, oh, you're 10 feet tall. I think that's the one that I find is the funniest. There's so many people that I didn't realize are 6'5". And then everyone I walk up,
you're like,
hey,
oh.
hi up there. So talking about kind of, this show always likes to tell a story, so I want to rewind just a little bit and kind of ask how both of you landed at Refrigeration Technologies, because most all of us know the paths that we've all been through the last couple of years. So how did you guys get where you are now?
Yeah. I feel like I'll go first because her story plays into the end of mine, I guess. So I worked for another company in the industry, and I worked there for about 5 years. And I think sometimes you just need something fresh, right? Like sometimes you need a different scene to grow your skill sets. You need a different challenge, if you will. And kind of put some feelers out. And, Viper was kind of running in the same circles as where I was previously. And it just kind of happened, I guess, It was like, oh, well, we're not actually hiring for anybody, but we like you. Do you want to come work for us? And I was like, okay. And so here we are. We're almost at year 2, and it's been a really fun ride so far. And then that kind of segues into how Becca joined us.
Yeah, so you joined in May 2023, right? Yeah, so I joined in October 2023, and it honestly, so I had been in the industry on the plumbing side for about 6 years, and I just kind of was like, man, I really am looking for a new opportunity. I want to do something a little different. And having a conversation with Ben from HVAC Tactical, and just kind of telling him like, hey, do you have any connections? And he's like, well, are you looking for anything specific? And I was like, I kind of been seeing this like Viper company. I was like, I follow Ashley, and so I've kind of been like watching what they're doing. I was like, what's their deal? And he was like, oh, like let me kind of get you in connection. And then I sent Ashley DM. We're just like chatting, and I was like, what's your guys' marketing like? And she's like, oh, you know what? We just happen to need a marketing person. And an hour later, I had an email from Mike, our president, asking me to do an interview, and that was that. Like, hired on the spot, and I just saw so much potential with the company, and I love the story behind it, so I was so excited to join.
Well, and talking about potential of your company, so you were just named to the Inc. 5,000 fastest growing business list again. So, what is it like having that company experience where you're just rapid growth?
Yeah, and that's 3rd year in a row.
3rd year,
which is kind of insane if you think about that. I've never worked for an Inc. 5,000 fastest growing company until now, so I don't really have much to compare it to, but it's cool. Like how many people can say that? How many people can say that they're a part of a company that's done it 3 years running? Once is amazing. 2, phenomenal. 3, wow, and we're shooting for year 4, of course. Like, why wouldn't we?
And in order for us to get that recognition, we have to double our sales every year to make that list. And so it's kind of wild to just like see the growth explode, and have people come up to us at the booth and be like, I love your products. I see them everywhere now.
Well, and with that change, you're obviously going to see changes as the company grows, because in order to grow sales and grow different things, you have to add people. So how have you been able to maintain kind of almost a family-oriented culture while experiencing that kind of expansion?
Yeah, good question. So we are still relatively a small team, but in a good way. I think that it's much easier to manage your culture when you have less people. So, we've got 5 internal employees, or between sales and marketing. We've got a couple people in the office, and then we've got like 8 warehouse, and that is growing. And then we have a specific group of reps that we work with across the U.S. So, I'm sure we're definitely probably going to be hiring some additional internal sales marketing people soon to kind of manage that. But having it be a small team, I think, is really helpful, because we can all kind of work together and make sure we all have that same, we all get what we want.
Easier to stay on the same page with that kind of close-knit group of people.
Yeah, the collaboration is just, it's unlike anything I've really ever got to experience. Coming from like a really big corporation and going into this small company, the way that I can just, go to, our president and say, hey, these techs have been asking about XYZ, can we do this? And him saying, yeah, let's do it. and not having to go
It's
through
nice to go straight to the source.
Yeah, not having to go through all these channels and wait months for an approval. And then, like having people like Ashley on the education side to lean on to help me with the marketing of like, how should I talk about this? Like, what are some words, some key phrases that I can use to really like get these points across? It's great to like have that person to lean on.
And also know you guys are expanding into a massive new warehouse.
Yes.
So how is that process going? I know I took advantage of your preseason order to make sure I didn't have disruptions.
Appreciate that.
I don't know where Scott is. I'm going to have to give Darty Sales some headache since he didn't show up here today.
Oh, you know what?
He's at our booth.
And he told me to say hi to you. So
I bet he did. We'll see. I'll ask him. We'll find out.
So yeah, the expansion is really exciting. I mean, we've added 2 additional buildings for 30,000 additional square feet of manufacturing, storage, media space.
Oh, I see.
And so, we're hoping that construction is done by the end of the year. And it's just more space for more Viper.
Yeah. I mean, we all know how construction goes, right? So, yes,
true.
we're planning for end of year. And honestly, it's just going to help everyone. There's going to be more space for storage. We have a specialized racking that we're putting in. We actually hired the company that does the Coke manufacturing lines. So it'll be more streamlined. We finally have a loading dock, which is really excited for the warehouse crew. You can just back a truck right up instead of forklifting everything in. So lots of improvements across the board. It'll be great for turnaround times for wholesalers, which means more product in the hands of the contractors.
That's right.
So good all around.
So speaking of that, I guess let's talk dirty mouths, clean coils. So
Rep
rep it. So where did the tagline come from initially? Besides the fact that
That's actually my little. We were just like kind of spitballing on a call, and I was like, "What about Dirty Mouths, Clean Coils?"
So, and like the inspiration actually came from there was an old beer commercial where they're going around an office and everyone's cursing at one another and they're putting money in a swear jar so that they can buy beer at the end of the week. And we were like, what if we take that concept and we're like, I mean, with our a tagline that came from the community is with Nylog. Like, I put that shit on everything.
Yep.
And so we were like, our audience is already cursing. How do we lean into this and use that to raise money for a good cause? And so, that's kind of where it all originated and came from. And so all the money was put towards Women in HVAC Scholarship, and we raised $10,000 in a year.
Awesome. I will jump in. I'm going to kind of self-promo here. I just recently joined a committee on the Women in HVAC for the sponsorship. So if anyone in the audience / anyone who's listening is interested in sponsoring Women in HVAC, it goes towards, membership and conference tables. So if you're interested, let me know. I would love to take your money.
Well, and we'll plug that again as we're leaving too, so they can find out where else to connect to that.
Yeah.
It's for a good cause.
So constantly evolving. I know you mentioned there is a new product coming, but there's also an update to a very popular product coming. So which one do you want to start with?
So, I mean, the update. So we're talking
update
about,
first.
So we're talking about our extremely popular aerosol coil cleaner, and we are introducing a new version of the can that will spray 360 degrees. You can spray that thing upside down, side to side. And so we just wanted to make the improvement, and it all came based on techs asking us about that.
Well, and it has to be, a lot of it is when we're using aerosols, it's usually because we can't get a sprayer in there.
Yep.
So half the time you've got to put your whole hand in there with the can, but if it's not oriented the right way, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, so
problem solved.
Yeah,
problem solved.
Being on a job site and watching someone try to stick their arm down into this coil, and she's like, can't move that way, like my arm doesn't bend that way, like there has to be, like, is there anything you can do? And that's an idea that we took right to Mike, and was like, can we do this? And he's like, yeah, let's go. So that is in QC right now,
Nice.
And then I'll let Ashley talk
I was
about
going to say,
the other edition.
any expected date for that to hit the market?
We're not exactly sure yet.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's just, I mean, we're doing some R&D right now.
Some R&D. Some R&D, touche.
Yeah, plus we always will run through all the old cans, so any inventory of the existing will obviously go out first. So it'll probably be pretty seamless. Like, you guys won't know which can has it and which one doesn't until you try.
Or until I ask you and you say, if you know, you know, and then I'll know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then as for the product, the new product, so it doesn't officially have a name yet, and we're going to toss it out to our audience and our community to kind of help us name it. And we have kind of 3 names that we're working with. One is the Viper Sniper, which I think I'm kind of leaning towards. It's fun to say. And then the Venom Jet or the Viper Grip. But it's basically an attachment that goes on top of the aerosol, so you can kind of pull it like a trigger, so it's super easy to spray, and you can have continuous spraying.
Continuous spray. I like it. Let's see. Or fang funnel. Would that work?
I feel like that's like a different aerosol.
Yeah.
Okay, that would work, I guess.
We'll hit you up for suggestions, though.
Okay. So, since you are also the head of education, there's a lot of different coil cleaners out there. But what are the key things that set Refrigeration Technologies coil cleaners apart from the rest of the competition?
There's a couple things. So, one, our whole premise for our company is safe chemicals, right? Like, that's how we were born. We were born out of a need to not, have products burn your skin, have products ruin the equipment or harm the environment. And so everything in our line, aside from 2, is going to be non-corrosive. It's going to be non-toxic. It's eco-friendly. They're food safe. They are kosher approved. So that's a huge thing, right? And then the other thing is that we have a couple different product inventions, like our Venom packs. That's super unique to us, right? Let's use as little product as possible to get you the most effective clean and do it safely.
Yep.
And those Venom packs, I mean, we just dropped a bunch of them out of a helicopter, and they survived.
What? I didn't see this.
You didn't see that?
No, I didn't see this
okay.
one.
Yeah, so we worked with Tool Pros and Tool Wife on this one, and they were like,
Seen the other ones.
they're like, we want to test the durability of some Venom packs. Can we drop them out of a helicopter? And I was like, let's go.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, yeah, if they can survive being dropped out of a helicopter, I'm pretty sure they can survive in the back of your truck.
I would hope so.
My favorite question is, I always get this a lot, like, Ashley, what if I dropped it into a bucket of nails? And I'm like, okay, but why would you actually do that? You're literally asking for an issue.
Well, I was on a ladder, and there was a guy that was working on the siding, and he had a bucket of nails down on the ground. No, that's not going to happen. What would you say is the most common misconception about coil cleaners?
Oh, that they're all the same.
Yeah. That they have to make the coil bright and shiny, which isn't always the case because, I mean, if you're taking layers of the coil off, you're degrading the system.
Well, and when you say that, that brings me back to probably my favorite video that I've used with my own customers is when you were doing the different tinfoil samples and showing how it completely just disintegrates with the other people's coil cleaners.
Yeah. The nondescript corrosive chemicals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think people don't realize when you're using a brightener or corrosive, it's literally a chemical reaction. That foam that you're getting is not because the product is foaming. It's foaming because it's eating the metal away.
Yep.
So, yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, you have a shiny coil, but you also have a damaged coil. So now you're just harming the equipment and you're causing a problem down the road, really for no good reason.
Well, and I wasn't going to say, what are any wild or unexpected customer stories about how they've used your product? But now that we've talked about you dropping it out of a helicopter, I feel like we've negated that question.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, because it's non-toxic and it's not going to hurt you, we have seen people eat the aerosol foam before. I don't know why you'd want a mouthful of soap.
I mean, it does not taste good. It won't kill you, but it doesn't taste good.
I think that would be a new spin on Dirty Mouths, Clean Coils.
Most definitely.
Maybe.
Just saying.
That'd make your mouth clean.
Clean mouths and clean coils.
Yeah. But we do get a lot of weird like the wipes, for example, they randomly take oxidization off of headlights. So if you have yellow headlights, you can use our wipes and it'll remove that, which is very random. Not what it's designed for, but kind of cool.
Well, and we have reps of other products that have used wipes off of our counter, and now they come back and buy wipes to clean their house with.
Tell us who it is.
I will. You'll laugh. You'll laugh when I tell you who it is. We'll do that. We'll do that off mic. So, any other updates you guys have to share, or what's next for the brand, or any cool? Well, I can't have you give away your marketing sauce, I guess, but
yeah. I mean, I think we're just going to continue to try to stay as edgy as possible. We're going to keep you guessing. I know I'm working on some educational videos, actually, with SkillCat. So we're going to have some training in the SkillCat platform, which is really awesome. I'm so excited to have that be put out. And then we'll also have it kind of like available for our employees and our team for sharing with, new customers or new contractors. So that's kind of cool. Viper University.
That's it. Well, and I think, again, we talk about this show has always been about collaboration over competition. It's funny, I just started to partner with SkillCat in December, and I'm just watching like so many more of us are getting involved in that. So it's a really cool thing to see happen, and really talking about collaboration and giving back. I know you already brought up women in HVAC. I'll let you talk some more about that in a second. But both of you have a huge focus on building positivity in our community, and what really has been the driving mission for both of you behind that, and kind of where for you does it come to life?
So, because I'm behind the scenes a lot with the social media aspect, and so getting to connect with people and build relationships, like, that's why I do this. That's why I want to work so hard, is that, these people, we spend hours, looking at each other's content, talking to one another. So how can I walk away from these with good, solid relationships? How can I uplift people in the community? So last year, starting our Tech of the Month campaign, where every month I'm looking at all the content that we're being tagged in, and I'm looking at who is really being supportive and who has maybe a smaller following that we can use our bigger following to promote and share their story, because everyone in this industry has a unique story that I think deserves to be told.
No, I completely agree, and that's really why this show even came into existence, is because I like to tell a story. There's too many guys that are already way better at teaching tech on a show than me, but I can at least give you a good time.
Yeah. And I think for me, I'm going to say it was more personal for me, in that I had some bad experiences in the industry, where people, because I'm a female, or because I didn't have a long-standing relationship, I had bad experiences, and it wasn't pleasant, and I felt like there weren't a lot of people that I could go to share or kind of help support me in those instances. And as I started to get more involved in the social community, there were several men along the way who were very, very supportive, and I feel like very helpful in making me become more of that community. So I felt really supported there. But I would still have these interactions in branches and whatnot, where it was I had to work so hard for people to respect me and to trust what I was saying, which forced me to obviously be very on my game and know exactly what I'm talking about so I can prove them wrong. Yep. But that also kind of led me into the women in HVAC stuff. So I'm a mentor with them, which has been so fulfilling, such a cool experience. And then also now to be on the committee to kind of help, bolster going to some of these events and meeting 500 other women who are kind of in the same space and have had similar experiences, who are honestly all kind of badasses. And I'm yes, I want to be surrounded by more of them, right? How do I become more of that and help other women who are coming into this industry feel supported and have better experiences, where they don't have to feel like they're kind of alone in what they're going through?
Well, and additionally to that, we've also teamed up for a lot of disaster relief.
Yes.
So Western North Carolina, where I grew up, was devastated by Hurricane Helene. A lot of people down here in Florida also had the same problems. So y'all donated a bunch of Viper wipes and hand sanitizer. I took it personally, a lot of it to a general manager and service manager of a company that buys from us. They had just bought a brand new house, have a little kid. It was flooded up to their luckily just the studs at the bottom of their crawl space. Somehow it didn't flood the rest of the house, but they had everybody's debris from up the mountain was just strewn all across their land. They had dead fish in front of the house because the water had been so high.
Wow.
So it was nice to be able to see something you guys did for me and for the community, and we can go and do that. And I know now you're starting to focus on wildfire victims, and can you share a little bit about what you guys are doing there?
Yeah. Just kind of, we saw a couple people posting about it, again, in social, like people who were followers in our community who, you know, there was one man specifically, it was like him and his 2 kids and his mom and his wife, and they lost their entire house.
Yeah.
Like everything gone. And I'm like, we should help. Like, what can we do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we made some donations and
yeah, and like us being, you know, our headquarters are in Southern California, and so, you know, we weren't impacted by the fires, but, you know, we're watching this unfold, and like, what can we do? How can we support these people? And so, yeah, any chance that, you know, our company can give back, I mean, it's no question. We want to uplift and help this community.
Yep.
And Mike's really cool about it. So, you know, again, I think that goes back to the benefits of a small company versus a corporation where you kind of have a lot more leeway in what you're able to do. And he's super supportive and understanding and like, oh, you guys want to do this? Cool. We'll do it. Yeah. Awesome. Tell me what you want. I'll figure it out.
Well, and if there's anyone that's listening to the show after the fact, if you're interested in helping support any victims of any of these natural disasters through the show, through Viper, any of us, just reach out to me through hvacrnd@gmail.com, and I'll get you to the right people. And lastly, you know, where can people connect with the two of you on social media? Where can they, you know, where do you want to drive them for the company? Where's the best place to do that?
Yeah, so, I mean, start by following Viper, Refrigeration Technologies on Instagram, Viper HVACR on TikTok, Refrigeration Tech, LinkedIn, and, you know, and we're on basically all the social networks, and then you can follow my Instagram, Becca's Hot for HVAC,
which is still one of the best. It's so funny.
I appreciate that. You know, Ashley does like really like educational content, and I'm just over here like let's show some bloopers, but people love that stuff.
I still love the bloopers of her just letting you fall over backwards. She's like, "Are you dead?"
She's alive. She made it.
There was an air mattress there. You just couldn't.
She also volunteered for this. Like,
yes.
You asked.
I do my own stunts.
Okay, Jackie Chan. Anything else you ladies want to share before we wrap up?
I don't think so. Oh, you can follow me at HVAC Ash.
And also go see them at booth 2001.
2001.
Yep.
2001.
Yep, we'll be there. We got plenty of swag, do some demos, show off. You know, I'll put
Come see our new product.
See our new product. I'll let you put your hand under the heat shield, and we'll burn some aluminum on top
your
of
skin.
it. Not your
metal.
Not your skin. Yep. Wet Rag's a great product. Sell a ton of it. So, ladies, thank you for taking some time to speak with me, speak with the audience, speak with the trade crew that are listening out there. If you're not following HVAC R&D, please follow me on Instagram and TikTok at hvac.rnd, on LinkedIn, Trade Hounds, and Facebook as the HVAC R&D Podcast. So thank you for listening to the show on your favorite platform, whatever it may be. Please follow, like, and rate the show. Leave me a review. If I suck, let me know. We'll figure out how to make it better. Share the show with your trade crew. And don't forget to check out the website, hvacrnd.com, and visit the swag shop and the vendor hub. So everybody, enjoy the rest of your AHR. Thank you so much for being here today, and I will catch y'all soon.